Hey guys, Big Dave here for Tales of Telara, and welcome to Warfronts. Yeah, that's right, Warfronts! Warfronts is the Rift PvP show where we take average PvE players and try to introduce them to the concepts and the fun of Warfronts. How do we plan to accomplish that? Well, it's simple. We're going to rely on our 4 guidelines. That's right. Live 'em, love 'em, read them off aloud if you must. The 4 guidelines. Now, while we do have the 4 written guidelines, we have probably the most important guideline, the 5th unwritten guideline, and that is have fun. It is a game after all, guys, so have fun. Or at least try to. This week, we will venture into Whitefall Steppes. Yes, Whitefall Steppes is the 3rd and final warfront that we get access to before level 50. It opens up when you hit level 30. So the 30 to 39 bracket is the first time that most people are going to encounter this warfront. Whitefall Steppes is a capture the flag style warfront, and let's take a quick look at the map so that we can get an idea of where things are laid out. I'm not going to go too in depth on this, just give you the map, give you the flag positions, and we'll move on. So, the Guardians spawn in the south, and of course, their flag, or in this case, source stone, spawns in the south, marked on the map for you to see. The Defiant spawn in the north, and of course, their source stone spawns in their base to the north. This is a fairly cut and dry map, but the devil's in the details, and we will talk this week about how this warfront, more than any other, relies on the skill and intuition of the player to be in the right place at the right time. Well, without further ado, let's get into the warfront. Let's get to my level 39 mage. He is a necromancer, warlock, and he is in Whitefall Steppes. Let's get to the action. Alright guys, here we go. Let's get this thing started. Again, 39, level 39, mage, necromancer spec, Whitefall Steppes, capture the flag. Here we go. We're going to start it out pretty typically. We're going to start it out exactly like every match starts out. We're all going to spawn in, and then we're all going to ride out on our turtles because we're all cool and got the collector's edition. So here we go. Typical start. We're going to head for the middle. Now, whether you cross over to the right and go behind those large boulders we just passed, or you go straight for the center, you're going to end up clashing with your opponent. There's always going to be a nice battle to start. Now, right off the bat, I noticed someone kind of skirting over to the left. I think, well, maybe this guy's going to go back door on us, but he doesn't. He comes back over to the center, and when he does that, well, I figure I'm just going to kind of sneak around here and snipe at him from the back, because I do have several instant cast spells, but I also have my most effective spells are going to have a cast time. So I figure if I can get a little sniping done from the backside, I mounted up on my turtle briefly. I think my idea was to head for the source stone. After seeing that I'm not really doing much and no one's noticing me, I go back to my strat of jumping on the turtle and head for the source stone. I notice one defender as I come in the base, so I figure, I'll grab the speed boost power-up over here, and I'll jump in on him and surprise him. And I do get the drop. I get a few of my spells off before the battle ever starts. That means that I'm in a pretty good place to win that one-on-one, because I did manage to get my dots and things rolling before my opponent even started doing damage. And yes, indeed, I do come out on top. I'm going to grab the source stone here. I don't really have a realistic plan when I grab it. I just figure I broke their defense, their single person defense, and I'm going to run for it. I don't know what's happened in the middle. I don't know. I know that a couple of my people are dead by looking at the raid frames, but other than that, I don't know where anybody is. I don't know what's going on. I could check the map, but that would be a nerdy thing to do, or a super cool thing to do if you're a uber PvP guy. So I get one-on-one here with a caster. I just decide, well, you know what, I'm going to try to outrun this person. So here we go. And then from the center of the field comes my death. 2 more defiance. I circle back thinking maybe I can one-on-one this caster before they get here. No. 3-on-1. I'm going to last as long as I can, which is not very long. But in the end, what I've hopefully done, or what I was attempting to do, either way, was to show them that they need a couple more people back on defense. The more people they have on defense, the fewer people they have on offense. Or offense, as I've heard it said. So, first death, usually like a recap on the death. Not much going on. You saw what happened. We met in the middle in a big battle. I snuck around, grabbed the stone, and got my butt kicked. So I come upon a little bit of an incursion here. Few defiants pushing their way into our front gate and join in the battle like any good soldier would. So as a PvE spec mage, I do oftentimes feel a little inadequate in PvP, having to stand and cast and not necessarily having... Oh, look, they snuck in. Okay, put that thought on hold. So, as we were fighting at the main gate, they snuck back and they took... You'd think I never saw this before. I played this game. They snuck back. They grabbed our stone, and this sneaky guy did a little blink port over behind the house, breaking line of sight, making a lot of people run a long way, dropping dots, soul purge, and we get him down. He does manage to drop a very well-timed AoE just before his death, almost allowing his compatriot to grab the stone and make off with it, but not so fast. So we return the source stone, and ooh, shinies. Plate, no, okay. But then they take it again. Wow, persistent guys. I freeze for a second, looking for my turtle up button, jump on my turtle, and here we go. We snake around and take the little shortcut between the wall and the house to get onto the get out onto the back exit or side exit from our base. No chance here. This guy never had a chance. It was a really good attempt while we were all busy at the front. It was a really good timing attempt on grabbing the source stone. Just didn't quite work out. So we're going to return the stone and make quick work of this fellow before heading towards the center for a little more battle. All right. Again, this is, as I was saying before I interrupted myself so rudely, in a large open field like this where I can't contain people to use my AoE, or I lack a lot of things to line of sight behind, I oftentimes find myself confused. I mean, I am a very inexperienced player. I'm doing these videos because I want to watch my own performances and critique them, not because I'm good at PvP. Quite the opposite is true, as you have probably noticed if you've watched episodes 1 through 4. I am not great at PvP. I may know a few things, I may have some very specific opinions on things, but I'm far from being skilled. And I'm also cowardly. As I saw 2 guys running at me, I runs away, and that guy says something that I can't read. I'm sure it's very nice, because everyone's nice in this world, even the bad guys. So, here we go, little kill that guy, and here comes that guy. Damn, look at him. He is just flipping and flying all over the place. Speed boosts, zippity zaps, whatever the heck that thing is called that the mages do that allow them to blink forward. I know it's not called blink. Luckily, I managed to dot him up on his way through, so it was all my dots, clearly. It wasn't like the 5 guys that he ran by. So we do manage to get him down. We return our stone, and we think, hey, let's push. We just kind of demoralized them. Let's push. I'm counting 4 or 5 guys there. All right, I got buddies. Let's go in. Let's go. Let's do it. Here we go. So I'm going to target this guy in the back, and so does a stealthy rogue, and we just rip these guys apart. I don't know if they weren't ready for us, or they all conveniently clumped up in our AoEs or whatever, but that was a pretty good attack. So we'll zoom past some boring running, and then we will see our awesome stone carrier just decide to run to the very front. Don't hang back behind the people defending you. Run to the front. So since our carrier is probably going to die, I try to recover our stone. And there, yes, there's the drop right there. So bad luck right there. The guy blinks backwards into like 4 of us, and we kill him. Just horrible, horrible luck on that. You know, it's one of those things, just like Blink in World of Warcraft. Terrain, elevations, that sort of stuff goes wrong all the time with the abilities that pop you forward a certain distance. And that guy really, really suffered badly. Now, we're suffering badly because this guy who picked up the Defiant Stone for us, he's just standing there. Yep, hanging out. Gets incapacitated just for good measure. Comes back. We are just, whole team's here. We're ready to go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Guy leaves the raid, and by that time they've caught up to us. Now, that's not going to be totally detrimental, but as you can see, we do eventually lose the stone. Fast forwarding here. Gonna try to get some glory. Hey, look, it's me grabbing the stone. Here we go. I'm gonna run forward, and you will see some of my inexperience here. I turn around to try and use my soul purge, which would heal me, but I cast the wrong spell. I use a hotkey for soul purge, so I hold down shift and then press my main nuke button. But in that case, I didn't hold down shift. So I die, so I just cast my main nuke, not my healing spell. I die, I make my way back over. Very tense moment here. Just about 2 minutes left in the match, and here we are. They have our stone in their base, standing poised, ready to cap when their offense returns it. So we're doing every single thing we can to get that guy to drop it, and we notice, oh crap, our guy just died. And they just recovered. That's going to be cap. That's going to be game. Oh no, wait. They don't respond in time, and here we go. We managed to run off with the stone. What a... Oh, my heart at that moment was it just sank. And then when we picked it up, it rose back again. Right back into wherever the position your heart would normally be. Sternum? I don't know. So, I die again as I'm trying to escort the flag carrier out, the stone carrier. But actually it works out nicely because I die, but the carrier keeps running, and I meet up with him right at the entrance to our base. So I figure, well, 30 seconds, 40 seconds left. Let's just protect the carrier. I take a quick look. You'll see it's sort of off to the left, heading towards the side entrance. Well, not the left now. Right there. I scope somebody heading to the side entrance. I figure, under 30 seconds left, but I'm going to go over here and try to give this guy some trouble. I grab the Speedy Boosty. That's the official name of that, the Speedy Boosty. I ready my AoE, and I want to drop it precisely on that foliage right there. Perfect. Makes it more powerful when you do that. And I'm going to go to town on this guy, but the match ends in a tie. Yes, a tie. A 0-0 tie. All right, well, let's take a quick look at the scores because we're running out of time. We've got to close this up pretty soon. Middle of the road performance, there's a lot to improve on there, nothing impressive. It's good that we've got a lot to improve on because this series is about learning. If I was the god of PvP, what would be the point, right? It would just be all ego-stroking PvP clip videos where I never show myself getting killed or making mistakes. Instead, I put my mediocre performances on display for all of my PvE brethren to see so that hopefully we can learn how to be better together. Well, speaking of learning, what did we learn? Let's talk about lessons learned. Well, we learned I'm not very good at Whitefall Steppes, and I am not. I have some ideas on why that might be, but we're going to talk about that in future episodes. What else did we learn? Well, we learned that, Whitefall Steppes is a deceptively simple map. It seems like a very straightforward design, but as soon as those objectives go mobile, things get very, very interesting. Well, guys, I've been Big Dave, as always. Thanks for watching this episode of Warfronts. Tune in next week for another episode. And in the meantime, take it easy.